Hello and welcome back to OmniWorld. I have a really sore throat coming on, but I also have some time to record. Nothing is going to get in the way of this. I'm just clearing out a little bit of space here because I've got some things to do today. We're going to do things a little bit differently, so this might be a bit of fun, this might be a mess, probably a bit of both. We'll see how things go, but yes, it has been. Get out of here, zombie. I have videos to make. It's been a while, as always. I know things are very, very, very stressful at the moment. But it is slowly fixing itself. Hence why I have time today to do this video for you. I'm very happy about that. Hopefully you guys are too. You guys have been loving the Minecraft story mode video things, so that's really, really, really cool. I'm having so much fun playing that, and I'm actually going to play a little bit of that a little bit later. So yeah, thank you very much for that. But it has been even longer since we had an episode on this server. Now, let me tell you what I'm even doing here. Maybe that's a good place to start from the beginning. I think I mentioned before what I want to do with this little area down here. So I've been working on it when I've had, a spare little bit of time. And we're going to get going with it. We're going to put a few things in place today. Let me just clear out these guys. I've been trying to avoid it at night because this place kind of gets a bit crazy. But yes, last time we were up here, I was sort of pointing out this area. Now, I wanted to start on this dock over here, but the inspiration I've got is cool. I like it, but I'm just not ready, if that makes any sense. So we've got a little dock, the little sort of bay, the walk bit. I don't know what you would want to call it, but we've got that thing, and I need to start putting some buildings into the rocks. I'm just not certain on them yet. But this is the area we're going to start today. So this was natural. This is how it was already made, which is really, really cool. You've got this little walkway that kind of comes up onto this area. Now, a mesa biome somewhere I've never actually built before. I like them. They're really awesome. There's a lot of cool colors, a lot of cool blocks. It's fun to run around. I've never actually built on one though, so I'm going to do that today. I like trying to veer away from things I do all the time. My real challenge for this was I didn't want to use anything that I use all the time, like dark sort of wood, and that's what we're going to be using. But in my defense, this is quite a bit of a different style. So there's that at least. But let me show you what's going on. We've got a few of these dirt blocks laid out. Now, this is where I want to put paths. I want to get the buildings in place before I try and make a design for the paths. This here is going to be the main house. I've got a really cool design for this that is not quite finished yet, so we're going to leave that for now. I'm not even sure how many of these we're going to do today, but so we'll just kind of see how this goes. But I've got the path veering off in a few different directions, and I want to have little buildings at each of them. This is going to be kind of a small village where a couple of people will live, and these people will be mainly people that work on the dock. So they're not going to be anything super fancy, but they're going to be kind of cool, kind of small. And I want to build this into a little town, something separate from this place, because I find if I keep working on the same thing, it does burn me out a little bit quicker. But there you go. So what we're going to do differently today is I've got some designs and I've got some styles that I like and that I kind of want to work with. But I'm just going to kind of go. Now, I know I'm not very good at the whole talking and building things. That's something I'm never too great at. But I have a feeling this is going to work a bit better because I know the kind of style I'm going for. I'm just going to start placing blocks and things will work. So that's cool. But yeah, things have been very, 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 very busy for me these last few weeks. And I know I keep saying that, and I don't want these to feel like excuses because that's not quite what they are. Okay, it's just the way things are at the moment. There is really no time. That is not what I asked. There really is no time to be doing this, which is really upsetting for me because I feel like this is what happened last time. We had some really, really, really good progression with the channel. Numbers were getting really, really good. And then work and life and everything else got in the way and I couldn't make videos and everything dropped off. Admittedly, that was a bit of a kind of blank patch on the channel where there was no activity at all. So I guess that's going to be a little bit worse for the channel than this is because at least there's stuff coming out. And it seems to be received really well. You guys are loving that, so that's awesome. But yes, things have been crazy these last few weeks. I have mentioned it in the... is that 4? Maybe I want 3. I did mention it in the last story mode video. I've mentioned it a bit in there because that's kind of all I've done. But for those of you who don't watch that stuff, and those of you who kind of stick to here, I mentioned before about the promotion at work, which has been awesome. The bit that didn't kind of work out too well was that as I got promoted, nobody got put in my place. So I kind of had to fill in both positions and we had someone leave. So it all just kind of piled up and I was essentially covering 3 people's shifts, including my new role, which Yeah, it's been a bit much, but it's kind of slowing down. Things are going to get a little bit easier. The biggest issue was that every single store around me was incredibly understaffed, which meant getting any sort of help from them was just not going to happen. But yeah, like I said, it's all getting that little bit easier now, which is really nice for myself. It's been a lot of really cool new experiences as well. Things I've really never done before. Things that are actually kind of scary. I held interviews the other day. We were extremely understaffed, which is what's obviously caused this problem. But yeah, I got to not like have an interview, but be the interviewer. Wait, which one is it? Interviewer. It was scary, man. I feel like maybe I was more scared than the person I was interviewing, you know? I don't know what it was. I'd never done it before. I haven't really ever had an interview before, if I'm honest. I kind of lucked into all of my jobs so far, so it's not really something I've been through myself, so I didn't really know what to do. Luckily, there was a lot of information for me. There was a lot of these packs put together and helpful questions and sheets and things I could go through, which made my life a little bit easier, but it was still, still a very new experience for me. But do you know what? I kind of enjoyed it in the end. I did feel kind of bad. We had to go through some things I imagine people go through in most interviews, like role play scenarios and things like that. And I felt kind of bad because I know no one likes doing that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's something I had to go through. At the end of the day, I need to make sure these people are right. But it got me thinking. It really did get me thinking. These people coming in to have the interview, well, they have no idea who I am or anything like that. They have no idea that this is the first time I've done this. They don't really know. And it made me kind of realize that, you know, whenever you go to an interview for yourself or anything like that, there's a good chance that the guy interviewing you is kind of nervous as well. Probably not. They're probably a little bit more experienced, I imagine. But then maybe not, I guess. I think you see what I'm saying. It wasn't something I could have really anticipated. Like, if I was going to an interview, I would just kind of assume that the person there had any clue about how to interview. So I guess you just would. You'd naturally assume that maybe they know what they're doing. But yeah, maybe they don't. So take that in with you. Maybe that's a good way to approach any sort of interview. The guy you're talking to probably doesn't know what to do and is probably very nervous. So it's going to be fine, basically. Maybe that'll make you feel a little bit more at ease. But overall, do you know what? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting new people and going through different scenarios with them. Shut up. That was kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with me. Let's see. What do I need to do with these stairs? I should make sure I've got this right because I've been rambling. But yeah, it's been kind of cool. Some very, very strange things have happened as well. There was one story. Now, I always like to try and think of things to talk to you guys about and tell you about. It's been ages, so there's bound to be billions of things, but I'm a fairly uninteresting person, if I'm very honest. But something happened the other day that it was one of those situations that just you never really expect to be in. For those of you who don't know, I work in a shop, basically. I run a shop now. And I had a guy come in. He was a fairly old, quite old, I guess you'd say. I'm not really sure of his age, which maybe I should know. But there you go. Either way, he was probably 60 to 70, somewhere in that region. And he was a little bit confused about everything, to put it nicely. And so he was asking me questions about certain things that we offer and things that we do, and telling me about positions he'd been in similar competitors and things like that. And I don't know how many of you people work with people or anything like this, but you might know elderly people like to talk, and they like to talk a lot. And I don't know whether that's just because they don't get to a lot, or I don't know. Maybe it's just something they do. But this guy he was rambling on about a lot of stuff, and I didn't really think much of it. I just kind of listened, smiled politely, like, yes, where are we going with this kind of deal? But there was a couple of things that he mentioned, and they kind of, I don't know what it was. It sounded very familiar, and I didn't think much of it. I just kind of, yeah, that's great. What? Why are you here? Kind of deal. He was mentioning things like, he had a large family, this many brothers and sisters and all of this stuff. And he was telling me about the situation with one of his brothers currently and how they're in his parents' house at the moment and they haven't changed it since they passed away and all this stuff. And I was just, yeah, this is cool. But then it wasn't until about 15 minutes into the conversation that he mentioned what he used to do when he was a lot younger. Now, where I live, people who live in England might kind of understand this a little bit more. I really need a bed. I don't know if anyone else is in this world. Maybe I'll try and find one, or maybe just some torches. I've got a giant sword, it's fine. But where I live, in pretty much all the towns in England, we don't have that many places. I know that's going to sound kind of strange and not very specific, but inside of our towns, there's maybe 1 or 2 sectioned areas which you'd have different names for, if that makes sense. But it's, there's not a lot there. Not quite like America or these huge countries where there's thousands of different people and things everywhere all the time. So he mentioned this certain place. He used to run this fish and chip shop, basically, in a certain area of town. And something clicked in my head when he said that, and I realized exactly who I was talking to. He was actually, or is, my great uncle. He's my nan's brother. And it was a really, really, really weird situation to be in, because I've never met him before. I'd heard about him. My nan had mentioned him. My other great uncles who I have met have mentioned him. I knew he existed. I'd never met him. But it all just kind of came together when he said that he used to own this place, and I knew that that's where my nan used to work, in this very specific place that's still about when she was younger. So I asked if he knew her, and he was like, "Yeah, that's my sister." It was a very, very, very surreal experience. I didn't really know what to do or say. It was kind of a weird position to be in, but it made me realize, if this guy hadn't asked so many questions, or if I hadn't have sort of asked certain questions that I'd asked or said things, I never would have known. He would have just left, and I never would have realized who I'd spoken to. I don't know. I thought it was quite a weird situation, personally. It's not something I've ever been in before. It was kind of cool. It was kind of awesome, really. Just kind of, people say, oh, it's a small world, and you just think, yeah, well, is it though? Because it's really big. But it kind of is. It was very strange. It was very, very strange. So yeah, that's my story for you guys today. That's my awesome story. Let's go with a double window here. I'm going to jump off because this is looking a little bit different to how I've ever done it before. But no, this is okay. This is coming along okay. I'm kind of happy with this. I'm wondering whether I need to maybe move that forward or backwards a bit. I think I had that. I'm not too sure. I'm going to keep going and then just kind of come back and fix it up a bit. But this is the kind of style that I'm working with. Now, I do have an extremely large amount of acacia wood, and that is for a reason. I have some acacia stuff on the roof, which I think really helps. It really helps everything. Adds a bit of color, adds a bit of interest. But I had this kind of stuff dotted around like this, and it kind of made a roof. But I'm gonna need to have a look at what I've done, because it feels off. And I know I said I was just gonna kind of follow the style, and we just kind of pick it up as we go. But I do still want it to be familiar with the other ones, and I think the reason it isn't is because of this guy. Maybe I don't need to, actually. Maybe I can just move these. Let's have a little look. Let me just take down these, because I think maybe that's what's causing the problem with this place feeling a little bit funny. But yeah, things are going great apart from that situation with staffing and stuff. And it was a very, very, very weird position to be in the other day with that other story. But apart from that, things are just kind of happening. Things are just kind of strolling along. I'm still working 6 or 7 days a week and finding very little time for myself, which, it is a very stressful situation to be in. There's a lot of work to do in the first place. And I think one thing that is very, very important is finding, a good work-life balance. I think that's something that's quite important. But at the same time, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in if I didn't work as hard as I have up until this point, and I won't be going any further unless I work this hard now. So it will all pay off. Hard work definitely pays off. So I'm going to keep going at it, and hopefully things will keep going forward. But yeah, I really want to be able to focus a bit more on the channel, which it's kind of frustrating because it's hard to explain, really, I guess. But I'd love to have just that little bit of extra time to spend here. Yeah. It is what it is. I am going to go and quickly check my previous build, see what it is I've done wrong and or differently, and I will be back. Alright, I have seen where I have made some slight mistake. This is a little bit different, but you know what? I can go with that. I have made the slight mistake because I've tried to add a wall where there wasn't a wall. That's why everything fell off. So this was looking good at the same position, and so would this, and so would this. I guess this would too, but this here was very different on the build that I had. So I had this, it wouldn't be there, would it? It would have been, I guess, here. Nope, that's the same place. I had a little balcony. I say little, it's quite a big balcony actually, come to think of it. I kind of want it there. Do you know what? It's going there. It's going to be fine. Oh, but then that doesn't make any sense. Okay, fine, it's going here. There we go. Let's get these guys in. But yeah, another really cool thing that's happening as well, which I know you guys all know about. I know you guys are all over this already, but 1.9 has released, and I'm very, very, very excited to get into it. One thing I do want to do is kind of put together, you know, a video going over everything. Now, normally I do all the snapshot stuff, but it really hasn't been possible this time around, which is really annoying because those videos are always really fun to make, and it's really cool to kind of keep up with everything and see what's going on. But fortunately, not this time. But there you go. I'd still like to make something though. You know, I know some of you guys like to see my opinion on things and learn things that way. So I will try and still get things done that way, but we'll see. I would like to put a video together is what I'm getting at. But yeah, I do want to know what you guys are thinking of it. Now, it looks very, very, very cool. And as far as I remember, I was quite happy with all the updates, to be honest. They all sounded very cool. They all sounded like things that would be fun to get into, fun to use. So that's definitely good. A lot of new features as well, which is always nice. It always feels kind of, you know, disappointing if you wait however many months it is. You get into the game and you find there's just nothing there, which isn't cool. But yeah, it feels like there's a lot of stuff. There's a whole new place in the end. There's the whole new end basically has all been changed over, which again, really, really cool. So that's going to be awesome. I know that this server is going to update as soon as it's available. We run off of Spigot, for those of you who don't know. I believe, I'm probably going to get this wrong now and sound really stupid, but I believe that it's kind of like, do you know what? I'm not even going to say it because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it pretty much helps with all the plugins and puts it all together, and helps this server run. But without that updating, we then can't update the Minecraft version because everything breaks. They seem to think that they're going to get this out really quickly, so it might be sooner rather than later, but that's going to be really, really cool. Of course, Aptera have been on snapshots. That is coming back, and I know I keep dropping out of that, but I raged so hard last time I played it, and I've been on to try and work things back. Somebody actually mentioned that I should keep jumping into the portal and hopefully eventually just end up where I was when I died. And I think that's actually a really good idea because that area won't be loaded. It shouldn't despawn. So it is actually possible I could still get my stuff back, and that might make me a little bit happier to play the video game. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to kind of find things and get back to where we were so we can keep playing it again, because I really want to get those challenges done. You know, there were some really cool challenges and they sounded really, really fun. So we will be doing that eventually. We've just got to kind of figure it all out as we go. I'm just taking it kind of one day at a time with this, you know, the whole work situation and everything. But it's going to be great. We're definitely going to get some cool things happening. Now let's see. With these, I had stairs, but the stairs felt kind of big, I guess. Maybe is the right word. I don't know. They felt like they stuck out a little bit too much, so I'm not too sure if that's something I want to go for. Do I want to have a little balcony roof here? I don't know if I do. I'm gonna leave that and have a little look at that in a minute. But let's go with this. I guess this is gonna look really strange from above. Is that gonna matter? Yes, because that's kind of really high up. Maybe this is something to really consider, but that's fine. We've got the pieces in so we can see the colors and stuff, so we can kind of get a look at it. Oh, doors. Almost forgot the doors. Where are my planks at? Let's have a little look. How it feels with these doors in, and then there's a couple more things that I do want to add. Is that okay? Not really. They've kind of gone a funny place. That's because the doors, yes, yeah, I get it. There you go, that's going to be much better. And let's get some fences in. I really like using fences for pretty much everything, but they work really well specifically in this build, so I'm kind of happy about that. This has all worked out. This has all worked out really well. But yeah, I think we are almost done with this. In fact, once we got these fences in, we'll step back and have a look. Now, obviously, the actual roof isn't finished or even a roof yet, but it kind of gives you an idea. We need to fill that in there of how it's going to work out. I need to get a bit more orange on there. But these are the kind of things that I'm going to have dotted around this little town. I have got some cool things that I want to add to them, little places for horses and that sort of stuff. But It'll all come in time. We'll all figure it out as we go along. Just kind of how I'm feeling about everything at the moment. It will just work out if we just kind of go with it. And it is. You know what? It is working out, so that's cool. But let me get this in place. Let me get a little bit more of the roof on, and let's take a good look at it. All right, there we are. I'm still not 100% on this little balcony thing, but you know what? For now, this is good. This is good. This is it. This is what this is the kind of thing I'm going for. I'm quite happy with this. I think maybe if we get some extra fences in here, maybe something like that could really help maybe tie the sides together or something. I'll kind of play around with that as I go, and as I build some more of these, I'll kind of get a bit more detail and some style to it. But this is what we're going for, this kind of build. I think it's cool. I think it works well. Again, it doesn't look too flashy, it doesn't look too modern or fancy, but it doesn't look run down and cheap and like these people just living right at the bottom. So that's really, really cool. It's going to be kind of a small place, like I mentioned before. They're just going to be here to work on the dock. So we'll have some things here, like little places for them to make fish, and I don't know what people with boats do. Whatever people with boats do. Fish apparently is about as far as my brain will stretch. It has been an extremely long day, so you'll have to forgive me. But yeah, that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to get a few more of them in around this place. I'm going to save the main one for a video though. But yeah, we're going to be working on this place. I'm going to try and get some paths and stuff involved once we've got a few more houses dotted up. I placed them where I want them. Well, I say them. I've placed dirt things where I want them. So it gives you kind of an idea. And this here, I'm not too sure about. I'm thinking about maybe building like a big kind of wall gate thing, gate entrance. Maybe just kind of an entrance, but I don't really want to wall off the whole place. I don't think I need to. Anyway, that's just random rambling stuff, I guess. That is going to do it for today. So I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you guys have not been waiting too long. Well, I know you've been waiting too long, but not had such a bad time waiting, I think is what I'm looking to get. I need to sleep. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, if you are excited to see some more OmniWorld stuff, please do go ahead and click all the buttons. Let me know down in the little bit down there. Wait, can I do that? I'm still kind of pointing upwards, but like under the video. Can I? Do you know what? It's a waste of time. Yeah. I'll see you next time.